It was raining last night. The Gyeongbokgung, or the Gyeongbokgung Palace. Gung is palace. If you're going to come to anywhere in Seoul, you have to come here. This is the main attraction of Seoul. Before Korea became the Korea we know today, it was run by the Joseon Empire, the Joseon Dynasty. This was the headquarters and main government palace of the Joseon Empire. It was built in 1395, and this was the capital of Korea. This empire, or this palace right here, was the capital of Korea for 500 or so years. Got my ticket. It was only 3,000 won, cheaper than I thought it was going to be. This is where the royal family lived for 500 years. This is just the entrance, by the way. Yeah, the royal family lived here. All of the smartest people of Korea lived here. All of the government lived here. All the government officials, and probably a lot of the higher people in their military lived here. So they could coordinate with the government. I would assume, I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure. I would assume so. The palace today has about 14 buildings. Historically, there are about 500 here. So that's why it looks like it's kind of bare. It used to be filled with tons and tons and tons of buildings. But today, only the main buildings have remained. The first and main building, these two are technically just doors. So the first main building is the Gyeongbokgung. I think I'm saying that correctly. This is where the king would give his formal speeches to his staff and greet foreign power. And he was the only one allowed to use the center door. What a building! It is so huge. Oh my God, it's gargantuan. The next building after the Gyeongbokgung is the Seodaemun. This is where the king's office was, or it was the king's office. What a building. Literally immaculate. It's hard to imagine it being better. His main office was not heated, so he had this office and that office built to be heated. I don't know how to pronounce them. The Cheongjingjong and the Manjingjong, something like that. But these ones are heated. They're heated by traditional Korean in-floor heating called ondels. This one was way too big and uneconomical to be heated all winter long. That's why he had these two smaller ones built. It's because they would be a little bit more economical to be heated in the winter. Let's see inside before we look for the ondel. They look comfortable. Looks like that's where this is somewhere you can get work done. I don't know what the side buildings are. If I had to guess, they would probably be maybe servants' quarters, or like regular quarters for like scholarly people, non-royal. Where's the ondel stacks? Because it would be like, yeah, these are probably them. These things right here. It would just, I don't know exactly how they work, but it's pretty simple. It would just like burn wood, and the heat of the wood would flow under the floor. Let's go see the Cheongjingjong. See, there's two more ondels there. Wait, no, it's the Cheongchujiang, something like that. Cheongchu. Is it exactly the same? Yeah, it's about exactly the same. I wonder why he had two though. Yeah, it's Cheong Chu Jeong and Man Chu Jeong. And this is the Sa Jeong Jeong. And behind the king's office was his residence. Him and his queen, they lived in different residences. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce this one. Maybe I will. Gyeongbokgung? I think that's like actually really close. He and his wife lived totally separate. He had to live right beside his office, and she lived in a totally separate building, totally separate area in the palace. So she wouldn't get bothered by his duties, which I thought was so funny. Hey, are those part of the ondel? I don't know. Maybe. Damn, this looks so cool. This was the king's home, and this was the queen's home. The real reason why they were separate was as the kings would age and become more elderly, they wouldn't be going to their offices to have their meetings. They would have them right in the house. So the queen had her own separate residence to have her own privacy away from the king while he would have meetings in, I don't know, his home or whatever. Because he would rule until the last day he lived, right? What a place. What's different about this one is it's connected. I'm guessing the queen had a lot more servants than the king did. In terms of like daily servants, right? She probably had, different types of servants. Cleaner. I have no idea. But it's connected, which is different than all the rest. I don't know what this is. Astronomical observation were located near the king's quarters, allowing him to track the movements of heavenly bodies. Freaking cool. Yeah, of course it was Sejong. Rain gauge, sundial, water clock, and celestial globes. What's a celestial globe? Cool. The water pavilion. See? It's on a big pond. Freaking cool. The water pavilion is where they held all the parties and banquets, big dinners, get-togethers, things like that. And this is the Shujoingjong. Oh, but this is where Hangul, the Korean alphabet reading and writing language, was invented, right in this building. How cool is that? What a place! It doesn't even seem real. And here's the Gyeongbokgung, the queen's new residence, as the old one was falling apart. This one has more modern amenities like electricity and a more modern heating system for her. Look how cool this brickwork is. That's not brickwork. But look at this. The Gyeongbokgung chimney with 10 longevity symbols. Sorry, I was working that out in my brain. The crane symbolizes longevity, and the bat symbolizes wealth, and the deity and the mythical creature symbolize protection against evil spirits. This is so cool. Here's a different one. I don't know if it's meant going to be painted like the others or if this is the final version. That is so much wood. So much intricate woodwork. I don't remember what this is called, but I think this was the office that was being used when they were renovating the main office in the 1800s. Right, because the 1800s is also when the Queen had her new house built, because by that time everything was 300-400 years old. This grout here is actually crazy. I don't know how this works. Oh, we can go inside. I wonder if they're gonna paint it or if it's gonna stay like this. So much wood. But it's like all super intricate too. That is something else. Wow. I doubt we're allowed to go there. This is the Gyeongbokgung Pavilion. In English, it is called the Pavilion of Far-Reaching Fragrance. And the bridge is called the Bridge of Intoxicated with Fragrance. That's just in English, though. Of course, they didn't speak English here. What a cool thing! I like it. I bet there's fish in here, too. Here's the Gyeongbokgung. When there was a fire at the main palace in the late 1800s, the king and the queen moved here to this palace. And this is apparently the first place to have electricity in all of Korea. How wild is that? I guess they're not going to paint that other one. I think the more modern style was just the less painted design. I might be wrong. I don't know too much about that. Oh, it's so sunny now. It was raining when I got up. And because of that fire in the late 1800s, when he built his new temporary palace, he also built his new office. Huge. It's called the Gyeongbokgung, or the Hall of Collecting Jade. I don't exactly know why Hall of Collecting Jade. Maybe he collected jade. But then this one is done in the intricate design. I'm a little bit ignorant of when and why and how they do this, traditional green and blue painting style. Freaking cool building though. It was the king's library. Right? Because back then nothing was digital. Everything had to be done on paper. Oh, we can't go inside. Yo, I'm gonna check this out. Whoa. See, there's Gyeongbokgung. It says here, Gyeongbokgung literally means collecting precious jewels such as jade. But I don't know if he collected jade here. Well, that was all. I think we've seen every building here now. Ooh, I am sweating. I was a little bit wrong about the library. The library, whoa, cool. The library was built as a place for the king to have literature on the modernization of Korea without Western influence. I don't know what he means by Western. Western as in European, or Western as in North American, or Western as in, I don't know. This place is freaking cool. Like, it's as cool as, this is the bathroom. It's as cool can get. But I am leaving out a few things about this place. Most of the buildings here were burnt down in the 18 and 1900s by Japan and their efforts to delete Korean culture. And most of the buildings are total reconstructions, but totally faithful to the originals. done with the same materials taken from the same places and built in the exact same sizes and specifications with the same tools that they built the originals with. So it is completely faithful to the originals. It's well worth it. I love this place. There's no re-entry if you leave, but there is somewhere I need to go. Look at this freaking place. Oh my God. Okay, it's this way. Exhibition gallery. This is the National Folk Museum of Korea. Basket. Basket. Hammer. Date. This museum isn't terribly interesting. Maybe exhibit number 2 will be a little bit more interesting. Yo, that's cool. Pipe and ashtray, number 5. Long pipe. Very, very clean museum, like super clean cut. Cool rabbit trap. Model food. Red bean porridge. Oh my God, this glass is so clear. It doesn't even look like there's glass there. They're just regular daily things of regular daily people. Interesting, actually. You wouldn't see that at any other type of museum, like international or a national museum or anything like that. Because those places show you like big, cool, old-fashioned, expensive things versus like daily things of a daily, regular Korean. Yeah, there's just some regular jacket. What the heck is that thing? Number 7. Manure container? A tool for carrying night soils, feces, and urine to the field. It opens on the top to keep the night soil from spilling. So you peed and pooed in there. Playing hopscotch over there. Is that peach milk? Sorry, museum. I just couldn't do it. I'm just too hungry. Maybe even 3 hungry. So we were just at the Seodaemun Palace, right? Just up the road is a community here in Seoul that is still living in those times. Gotta be quiet here. It's a real residential neighborhood. See, these are real people's homes here. Traditional Korean houses like this are called Hanok. Hanok homes. Wow, these are so cool. There are about 900 here in this neighborhood. I ended up getting a haircut. How's it look? Not bad, right? A little bit Korean, but I am in Korea. This is the Seodaemun Jail, or the Seodaemun History Hall. If you are unaware, Japan annexed and fully took over Korea in 1910. Right here. And they did extremely cruel things to Koreans. Think of the worst thing you could ever do to a human being physically. Burn them, dunk them in acid. Them. Anyone, really. Think of the worst possible thing you could do. Japan did it worse. And they ruled this country and did their best to delete Korean history until 1945 in World War II. I will not get fully into the details of how all that played out, but this prison plays a very specific role in that history. This prison was built by Koreans in 1908. And just 2 years later, in 1910, Japanese fully took over and then used this place to hold Korean activists until 1945 during World War II. And it was built to hold about 500 people. Yeah, right there, 500 people. A lot of people came through here. You can see, I'm guessing this is the count. But its capacity was 500 people, right here. In 1945, when it was, when the war happened and the doors were open, activists were released, there were 2,980 Koreans in here, locked up. You can imagine how crammed it was. I'm guessing this is how many prisoners were held here. I don't know how many died here. It's huge. And now today, it's a museum to tell the tale of the horrors that happened here in this prison. When Seoul detention camp was moved to this place on November 15, 1987, the area where the prison was located was turned into a historic site in 1988 and later reopened as a prison history hall. And so for 10 years, it was just a historic site. And I guess, in those 10 years, they would have to fully renovate the place, clean it, repair things that needed to have been repaired. Down here in the basement, they talk about the different types of torture they did. Maybe I will get into it, even though I thought I wasn't. Water torture. Torture in which a prisoner's head was forced into water, making them believe that they were being drowned. What a brutal display. At the time, the Japanese used torture and inhumane acts as a method for suppressing the Korean population. These acts can be compared to some of the most atrocious war crimes committed in world history. That's what I was saying earlier. Imagine the worst thing you could possibly do to a human being, and they did it worse. And that's truly not a lie. Psychological torture, inflicting mental oppression on a suspect before interrogation in a way that he or she listened to painful shouting by other people under torture. Fingernail torture. The torture to introduce pain by piercing a needle-like sharp skewer beneath a prisoner's fingernails. The results from such unthinkable torture inflicted by the Japanese to Korean patriots include the cutting off of bodily extremities, the peeling off of skin, and rupturing of internal organs. Most of the imprisoned patriots were not defeated by such inhumane torture, but endured their imprisonment. But there were many who died in or out of prison after being patrolled due to torture. One such example can be described as airplane torture, in which a person's hands and feet were tied back while being suspended in midair from an airplane. They were tied to a freaking airplane and flown around. Box torture. A torture by putting an individual inside a box stubbed with sharp nails and shaking the box to torture him or her. Oh my God. Narrow room torture. A torture in which a person was put in between narrow walls so that they could not sit down or stand up properly. Oh my lord. It's like... Yeah, that's uncomfortable. Holy shit. Central Prison Guard Building. Seodaemun Prison, according to the records made in the 1930s, was a prison where the largest amount of manpower was deployed. This prison building held a special type of solitary confinement called ink rooms, where the rooms were pitch black. The toilet was just a hole in the floor, and they were locked up here, and they couldn't distinguish between day and night, and they were subject to brutal torture. I don't know if these the rooms that are pitch black. I don't think they were painted pitch black. I think they were just pitch black from the lack of light, maybe? Does it say painted? Oh yeah, they weren't painted. The rooms were pitch black. I think if I was lying down, I would barely fit in here, really. These were the regular cells. It doesn't say how many people fit in each cell. Inmates imprisoned in a punishment cell, also known as the ink rooms, were completely isolated at all times, even when using the toilet. To prevent contact with other prisoners, business was done in a rectangular hole at the end of the floorboard. Inside the hole was a square toilet drain, through which it flowed out of the building. Where? Is this it? I think those are them. The leprosy patient cell building. Built around 1923, was designed to isolate prisoners with leprosy. There are 2 small cells and 1 large cell. Damn, it's closed. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so excited for that. Whoa, look at the watchtower there. Here's the execution building. What a name. They named a tree the wailing poplar, the poplar of sorrow, because death row inmates would cling to it and cry. Is that the tree? Yeah, during a severe typhoon, the tree fell. On the first floor were various tools for hanging the prisoners, including a trapdoor, ropes, trapdoor lever. Behind a screen, the basement under the floorboard was where the bodies were kept. Freaky, man. There's a do not enter sign and there's a guy in there. The secret corpse passageway. This passageway was a secret passageway used for bodies that had too many markings from tortures. Whoa. There's a little kid just happily yelling in there like an echo. Had no idea what it was used for. Yeah, that little kid over there. He was just like smiling and laughing and yelling in there. Not the echo. I think that might be all, actually. Let's go see that thing right there. This whole area is called the Seodaemun Independence Park because not only is the prison, right? There's an Independence Hall here that I've never heard about before. I don't know what it's for. But the Gate of Independence, that big guy right there, was built in 1898, Independence Hall. I don't know anything about this place. But that big gate, sorry, I have to come and check it. There's a sign. It's almost the same reason, if not the same reason, why the gate is built. Renovated and renamed the Independence Hall by this guy and his Independence Club after the reform of the 1894. It's used for forums to promote the national independence, self-reliance, and rights of the people. Similar reason to this large gate. This was built to commemorate the leaving of Chinese influence from Korea. And the funny thing is, in the 70s, it used to be somewhere else. I don't know where it was. It was like 70 meters somewhere else, and they moved it here to make room for new roads. Probably this big road. Oh, that's the real name. Dongnimun Gate. I've never seen that anywhere on the internet. So that's why this whole park is Independence Park, with the prison just on the other side over here. You know, independence from Japan, this thing, independence from China, and the Independence Hall, which was built for similar reasons to this, for its independence from Chinese influence. Wild. I got up this morning and it was rainy and cloudy. Then it got full sunny and 26, 27 degrees. And then now it's back to cloudy and I think it might rain. The city is so awesome. Everywhere, all the time, non-stop, 24/7, 365. I might be overstating that. I've only been here 2 days. But it's so awesome here. Like, every street, every corner, every place, it's just so much life happening all the time. Like, it would be so hard to leave a place like this if you grew up here. It would be impossible. The sun is just about to go down. Probably about 15 minutes maybe. I know it looks like I'm buying a lot of drinks, but it's like everything here is buy one, get one free. Like literally every single soda. So, see? Buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. How's my haircut? I like it. Can't wait to style it tomorrow. I probably look super greasy. I've been sweating all day. Korean protein. Not bad. It's so hot here that my cap, I put cream on my head. My baseball cap is like giving me a rash on my forehead, which is why I got a haircut, because I want to not wear my cap for the first time in 5 years or more. Here's my cap. I even travel with 2 caps just in case one flies off in the wind. If you look online, it says Seoul is expensive, right? It says that everywhere. My Airbnb is a full apartment for 65 Canadian dollars or 70 Canadian dollars. But I booked it last minute too, so it would have been even cheaper if I booked it like a month in advance. But like the palace was like $3. All the other museums and places I went to today were free. Oh, how much was the ticket for the prison? I think it was $3,000 also. I would have to double check, but I think I spent less than $5 in metro and buses, and I took I would have to double check. Less than $10 Canadian for sure, but I took like 6 train rides, metro, and like 8 buses. It's so cheap. It's like $1. I don't remember. It's really, really cheap. And there's just so much to do everywhere all the time. Because I'm vegetarian, I spent so much money on food actually. Probably like $40. But that's because I'm vegetarian and this is not a vegetarian country. It's a very, very meat-eating country. If you are not vegetarian, you can probably eat street food or like cafe food, which is super cheap. In a day you would spend for sure less than $6 or $7. I'm going to take a shower and go do my laundry. It's actually really cool how showers work here. They give you slippers, okay? Here's the shower. You just shower right in the bathroom, like just onto the floor. That's the drain. And you just use the sink and you just turn this and it diverts the sink water to the shower. And it's Korea. I told you about ondels this morning, right? The palace is heated by in-floor heating. This apartment is too. I don't know how much of them I will have to see in the next month that I'm here traveling around the country. But I just turned this on. That's the ondel, in-floor heating. That's the shower temperature. And it's instantaneous. Give it 1 minute and it's ready to go.